YouTube, what up? Welcome back to channel Adrian TV, and y'all know me as Adrian. But before we get into today's video, y'all know what y'all need to do. Subscribe to this channel, like and comment on the videos. Also follow me on Rumble where I post. And if you have a question about your own life and ask Adrian a question, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can hit me up on one of my social media platforms. It'll be pinned in the description. Y'all, welcome to another video. And from the title, you know how I've always talked about how women really don't want dad bods. But I found a video that features Ro from the Country Wainscots, and she talks about a few things. She talks about the dynamics between men and women, and she also talks about how women want a trophy too. And this kind of goes to what I've always said. Men, don't believe this hype when women say they like dad bods. If they do like dad bods, it's for a certain reason. You could check my videos on that, and I'll make sure to leave the links in the description. But for the most part, like she says in this video, women want a trophy too. So I'm going to play this video, and she discussed a couple things where I disagree with and where I've always talked about when it comes to these topics between the dynamics between men and women. And it's unfortunate that grown people are still getting this wrong. So let's watch this video and then I'll give you my thoughts.
It's always women have to look a certain way in order to be chosen. We've been conditioned to compete against each other to be chosen.
Yeah.
We have to have a certain body. We have to have a certain glow. We have to have a certain look. And I'll just speak in my category because I'm over 50. Once I get to this age, I start to lose that beauty, that youth, right? So the older men will start looking at the younger women, right? However, they're no different than me because they're losing the look, the body starts to go, and it's like, Negro. I want somebody next to me too. That's a trophy too.
Right. Yes.
So here we go with the double standard.
Yeah.
We're sitting here talking about women.
Okay, then she said a few things. Now, number one, she said women are conditioned to compete. Men didn't condition you. The top eligible men that you want, because she said she's 50, so obviously her range of pool is going to be smaller. So you got to think about that. She's probably doesn't want to date 30-year-old men seriously. And then let's talk about money. She's on the Country Wainscots and she's older. So those group of men that she want, the eligible men that she do want, she's gonna have to compete for, because let's just say a man in his 50s and he's aged gracefully, because she did say she wanted a trophy too, so he aged gracefully, took care of himself. Let's say he makes six figures, has, you know, a house, a car. In other words, he has his life in order. She's going to have to compete with other women. See, you weren't conditioned by men. You are competing against other women because you know deep down inside, if he's a catch, if I see that he's a good man, other women are going to see he's a good man too. That's why you have to compete. I hate how women point and say, men condition us to compete. No, it's you, because the top men that have options in your range, you understand that. So that's why you have to compete. And then number two, she talked about age, because we all know how they say men like youth, beauty, and fertility, and women like protectioning and provisioning. And that's true. But what she has to realize is when she says, I want a trophy too, men were never looked at to be the beauty objects. That were always women. Men was always look as the success object. So when they're both, let's say Ro at 50 and the man at 50, he has more access now, because if he did the right things and got his money right and he's stable and he has financial status, he has more of a dating pool of women, whereas Ro doesn't, because since men are more attracted to youth and beauty, she's going to, like she said, it's going to cut her dating pool. Now, I know some women say, yeah, well, I could get a young man like older women. And that's true. When I turned 21, I remember I had sex with a 40-year-old. But the only thing is, it was really for sex. It wasn't for a serious relationship. And this is a problem that I don't know Ro has been through this, but older women understand that younger men will have sex with me, but will they have a relationship with me? And then number two, let's say if Ro does pull a younger man, which I have no problem with older women dating younger men, but she's 50 and more established. Let's say a 25 or 30-year-old and they may not be established. Is she going to be willing to take the man role and pay a majority of his bills like men do for women? No. And that's my point. They're half telling the whole story. it only works for men that are well to do and age gracefully and did the right things. But the 50-year-old who is fat, broke, and doesn't look good, bro, you wouldn't even look his way. And to go back to the comment when she said women want a trophy too, you see it? You see what they said, fellas? This is why I say, men, you need to be in the gym. You need to watch what you eat. Don't believe that BS when women say they want like a dad bod. 9 times out of 10, when women say that, they just like that because if they feel lazy and in a relationship, they want to gain weight, they have an excuse because all they just got to say is, well, look at you. You're overweight, so why can't I be overweight? Because y'all know what I've always said on this channel. Remember, I've told women, look, I'm into fitness. So if you let yourself go to what you look like right now in the talking and dating stage, I will leave you. I have had women tell me, I can only see you as a fun guy because say if I get older and I want to stop working out, or I'm not working out but I don't want to care about my diet, you'll leave me because I'm becoming overweight. I'm like, yeah, because number one, if we have kids, I don't believe in obesity, so I don't want to preach that to them. And then number two, I'm not sexually attracted to women who are overweight or obese. That's just what it is. And finally, it's not a double standard. This is what I hate, especially it's so sad when grown folks, because Ro is 50, this is grown people talking like this. Men have always been attracted to youth, beauty, and fertility. Women have always been attracted to money and status, stability, and protection and provisioning. Think about it. When women were younger, they always had, for the most part, always had older boyfriends because they were more established than the men in their own age group. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just biology. But the only thing is, when women get older, and let's say if they're single or they are divorced, their sexual access goes down because their sexual market value isn't high. But if the man put in the work, when he gets older and then he has a business or he's making 6 figures, he aged gracefully, he has more of a dating pool now, because when he was 18 and 20, he couldn't compete with the 30 and 40-year-olds. But now that he is 30 and 40, he can now finally compete. But on the flip side with women, when they're 18 all the way probably to late 20s, early 30s, they can't compete. But when they get in their 40 and 50s, they can't compete with the younger women. It's just flip-flopped. It's just inverse. It's just biology. Women get their money up front. Men get their money later if they put in the work. So men and women, that's it about this video. And why I love these videos is because it's conversations that need to happen. Now, to me, this is basic common sense, but for whatever reason, people continue to mess this up. All this is just biology. What women want is okay and what men want is okay. But the only thing is, what I think that hurts society is people are beating around the bush instead of calling it what it is. It's not a double standard. It's biology. Now, men and women, let me know what you think about this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.